Hey, good morning, AP Sam. I hope you and your families are well. Mr. Evans here. I wanted to walk you through the IWA rubric really quick, just so as you guys are polishing, editing, finishing, whatever you're doing on the paper, that we're all on the same page. And so this rubric is actually way more complex than our IRR rubric was. So let's just understand what we're going to be graded on. Because as I posted yesterday, our papers are going to be weighted way more than they were in the past due to our current circumstances. So let's look at row one, understand and analyze context. I'm just going to walk us through the high level. All right. The response effectively integrates at least one of the stimulus materials. So, like I said, we need to cite at least one of the stimulus articles and clearly relates the theme or connection between two or more of the sources. So, obviously, what you're writing about, yeah, you cite one article, but it should relate to more than just one article. It should relate to the themes or arguments presented in more than one of those articles. Row two. The response explains the significance of the research question by situating it within a larger context. The response connects evidence from sources to a wider context by considering the implications of others' claims throughout. This here is why I suggested that your first body paragraph be a historical lens. I think that is where we can kind of situate our question within a larger context. We explain where this thing came from and why it's important for society to address. Row three. Again, it's kind of this, it's the same topic here with understand and analyze perspective. The response addresses the complexity of a problem, question, or issue by comparing, interpreting, and drawing relevant connections between multiple divergent and contradictory perspectives. So this is why I suggested that we have a historical lens and at least two other lenses, perspectives, or stakeholders that we need to make clear that this is an issue that affects multiple people in multiple ways, right? So whether that's ethical and scientific or scientific and economic, whatever the case might be, we need to address our issue and make it clear that this is complex and it impacts people in different ways. Row four, the response incorporates and synthesizes relevant evidence from a wide range of sources to develop and support the argument. This again is why I'm suggesting we use at least 3 academic sources, right? We can use normal like news sources, but let's try to include at least 3 peer-reviewed sources. If you're using source 3 from the stimulus material, that counts as one of these academic sources. All right. We have 2 rows for established argument. Remember, this is called IWA, independent written argument. The response is logically organized, well-reasoned, and complex. The commentary interprets evidence and connects it to claims and reasons to clearly and convincingly establish an argument. So this is why I thought our thesis statement should contain the words must or should, right? We need to be making an argument about what should happen to something. And as you do that, just make sure you take time to explain your citations. How does your citation, how does your paraphrasing support the thesis statement that you wrote in your introduction? Next one for established argument. Let me see if I can make it bigger. All right, did that help? The response presents detailed, plausible resolution, conclusions, and or solutions. So again, this is why my outline is structured the way it is. We explain a problem, then we offer a solution, right? We can't just explain problems. The argument part of this paper is what solutions are plausible and what solutions should be implemented to solve the problems that you outlined. So I would think lens, perspective, stakeholder, what is the problem? What is the solution, right? For each lens and stakeholder, you need at least 2 paragraphs, a paragraph on problem and a paragraph on solution. Row 7, the response offers an evaluation of different perspectives considering objections, implications, and limitations. I think all of us, after you've done problem, solution, problem, solution, problem, solution, we need at least 2 paragraphs explaining why these aren't perfect. Because as we said in our IRR and our team media presentation, if there were perfect solutions, they would have been implemented. So explain what are limitations, why aren't they perfect? Implications mean if they were implemented, what would the long-term impacts on society be? And objections are why would people not agree with you? All right. Now we get to the hard part, but at least if you notice, conventions are worth half as much as the other rows that we've talked about. So this is only 3 points. The response attributes and accurately cites sources. The bibliography accurately references sources used using a consistent style. So this is our works cited. These are our in-text citations. Make sure you're using MLA format. Under writing resources, there's a PowerPoint that details all the ways in which you cite sources. Lastly, row 9. The response uses effective sentences, precision of word choice to create variety, emphasis, and interest to the reader. It communicates clearly to the reader, although may not be free from errors in grammar and style. The written style is consistently appropriate for academic audience. So this is, are we using academic language? Are we using grammatically correct sentence structure? This is why I've been drilling you guys about keep using Grammarly, keep using Quillbot. I put up a draft in Turnitin. That can also check your grammatical structure. So feel free to drop your Google Doc into Turnitin and check it out there. But that's the way in which these papers are going to be graded. And as I said at the start, our papers are now worth way more than they used to be due to our current circumstances of remote learning. So I'll be online with you guys the entire time today. Shoot me a text, shoot me a email, shoot me a message in the Google Classroom stream if you have any questions. All right, kiddos, take care.